Okay, how are you doing? Thank you for clicking on this video, and we are going to be talking about how to become a developer. I'm going to give you the steps, a little roadmap, tell you where you can start, what you can download, and where to go when you start to run into problems. So, as you can see from the video, it's a little segue right here. Let's go into the first part, which is learning. A great place to start out learning is Udemy. They have a wide variety of things, and since we're talking about being a developer, I'm going to highlight this section right here, and they have plenty of places for you to just start looking and see what's out there. If you want to search up a particular topic, like let's say JavaScript, you can see they have all these free courses, and you can choose between free and paid. The paid versions are normally pretty in depth, and they offer a lot of advanced topics a lot of the time. And if you keep something like that in your cart for a while, they'll offer it at a lower price, it seems like. That's just something I've noticed. So keep that in mind with Udemy. Another great place to start looking for tutorials and to learn more about whatever kind of topic or field you choose is YouTube. There's a bunch of tutorials out here, like You Found Me, for instance. I have some of my own tutorials. I'm going to start making even more. But there are other creators out there who teach how to program and how to develop. There's stuff like rock, paper, scissors you can start out with, something like tic-tac-toe or a hangman game. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube, and just look into YouTube. That right there is just the best option for free, if there is one. The last one I'm going to show you for places to learn to code is just like you saw in the video, Free Code Camp. They have a website, and there is nothing but positive, great reviews. As you saw, that last channel we were looking at was Free Code Camp. So let's go look at their website, because they have a great free website, and whatever you want to learn there, literally look it up. It's a giant treasure trove of information for you to learn programming. I've learned a lot of the stuff I know from Free Code Camp, and I've watched a lot of the tutorials, especially on like Python and JavaScript. Like they have a bunch of stuff, and they have done a lot for free that you definitely need to take advantage of, because they're literally giving free knowledge. Like whatever, like if I could pay you and you could go out and do something, it would might as well be to do this. I don't know. Just check this out. It is amazing, all the free information they gave away. Now that I've showed you where you can learn how to code and program and learn different languages, I'm going to show you two places where you can actually code and make a program. And we're going to start with Visual Studio Code. I use this almost every day. Yeah, every time I'm coding, 9 out of 10 times I'm using this. I use it for web development, and I have it set up just how I want, especially when it comes to the theme and everything. I have the right size. I have to up it sometimes when I'm recording a video, but it's made pretty easy. I have the right font I want. It's easy to install things on here and to open up all the different windows and all the different buttons they have. After, I don't know, like a day of using it, you start to understand what everything means. And it's very quick to get from one place to another. I can have two of the windows open and it's still running fine. That's due to my computer, but it's like it runs smooth, and it's a personal favorite of mine. So check out this. They offer IDEs for other programming languages too. So go and check them out. See what they have that can fit your needs. It's my favorite. The last one we're going to look at here is PyCharm. This is an amazing editor, I think. I use it for Python whenever I'm coding in Python. They have other IDEs for different languages. You gotta check that on their website. Like I said, look into these guys. Anytime I'm coding in Python, I use this. When it comes to downloading packages too, they make it really simple. You might run into some errors sometimes, but I'll show you what to do in the next stage this of this video. But no, this is great. If you're learning Python or you're thinking about learning Python or data science or whatever, check out PyCharm. I love it. That's all I say. Love it. Just want to take a second here to say that if you're new to programming or you're looking into learning how to code or become a developer, I'm going to recommend starting out with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or Python, and just understanding how they work and what they do, and seeing what they specialize in. They're easy to understand, and they have a huge community behind them, a ton of tutorials, so whatever happens, any errors you run into, someone else has been there and it's normally pretty easy to figure it out. Now that I've talked about problems and errors that you're going to run into in the future, here's how we can start by solving these problems and errors. If you run into an error when you're coding and you copy the error, paste it into Google, one thing you're going to see pop up every time is Stack Overflow. So what I always do is copy my error from the terminal, paste it in Google, and that first Stack Overflow response that pops up on Google, I click that, and the way the website's laid out is the person asking a question. That's the first thing you see. That's the person with a problem. Just they're having a problem like us. And the comment underneath is the answer. Most of the time, that person who's asking that question had that same problem you're having, and their post and the answer provided by the person can give you the answer you need to solve your problem. So look at the questioner's code and see what's going on there. See how it relates to your program. Look at the answers code. See what's going on there. See if it can't solve your problem. Another great place to solve a problem you might be having with an error is Geeks for Geeks. They have a bunch of tutorials on there to show you how to use different methods and built-in functionalities in your programming language. So let's say you're trying to use a promise in JavaScript. You're trying to figure out how to use a class in Python, or just how to use a variable or print or anything in general. Geeks for Geeks will have the answer for you on how to use something. And like I said, when you Google your error and Stack Overflow pops up, Geeks for Geeks is going to be right underneath that. And they are just a library of knowledge. I don't even think if you put everything they had onto paper, you'd be cutting down half the Amazon. With the amount of information they have, take advantage of it. It's free. It's great. Check them out if you're into a problem or if you want to learn. So you can't always just store everything on your computer, especially if you start working on a big project or something you might want to show somebody. So you can store it here on GitHub. And that's a great place to start building up your projects that you're making, especially the finished ones, and adding them to your portfolio. Once you get a cool little project that you're like, oh, this is awesome, just finally did this, and I want to show it off somehow, or it could help me in the future with a job, put it on your GitHub and use that as a way to start building your portfolios. Especially once you start learning how to build a website, then make a website, host it on Netlify, put that code on GitHub so Netlify can read it. Put that on your resume so that when you link your GitHub and people see your GitHub, they see that website and the code and all the work you put into it. But make sure as you're doing projects and learning and reinforcing what you do, upload it to GitHub because at the most it's a little reminder to see how far you've grown as a developer looking back at projects you've done, because I still look back at projects that I did and I'm like, oh, like I've learned a lot. Like I don't know how I've made it this far, but I've gotten here and I'm doing way better than I was. So let's see where I'm at in a year. Like you're going to be looking back at the code and seeing how much you've learned. Another tool you can use to add to your portfolio and help with your future endeavors is Netlify. And if you're doing web development and making websites, it's a good way to go out, make a few practice websites, get an idea of what it's like to host them with a server, and you can add it to your portfolio. Or you can create a whole website as your portfolio and surround everything around the website. And it's really easy to use, honestly. It can get in depth if you want a little bit, and there's a paid version and a free version. It's something I highly recommend once you start to play with web design and you're used to it and you want to actually get it so maybe somebody else will see it. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something and enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe, leave a comment on what you think, or if there's anything you want to see in particular. I'm going to be trying to get a schedule down for when I upload, so yeah, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.